welcome back, and if you're new here, hi, my name's Leané and I'm a young adult romantasy author. The links to all of my books will be in the description, and also be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this one. So I recently turned 24 and I'm not sure if it's my prefrontal cortex developing or if I'm still running on that New Year's motivation, but I realized that I need to make a few changes. And the thing is, I have a lot to be thankful for. I love both of my jobs that I'm currently working. I have a wonderful partner. I have a really great group of friends. But I think the one area in my life that I have really failed to nurture in the last year was me. And I think it's a matter of I got so caught up in the routines and in everybody and everything else around me that I just really didn't make enough time for myself. But the truth is, nobody's gonna fill your cup for you, at least not to the full extent. And if I'm operating on half a cup or even less than that, then I do not have enough to give in all these other areas of my life that are really valuable to me. I also realized that it wasn't something that was obviously going to change overnight or in the course of one YouTube video, which is why I decided to make it a series. I really want to spend the next few weeks or even months doing more things that genuinely bring me joy and that make me feel present in everyday life despite all of the busyness and the routines. I also feel like I want to get to know myself again and really take the time to invest in me and the things that I genuinely love. Because at the end of the day, I know that if I do that, I will have more to give in my career, in my relationship, in my friendships, in everything. I'm obviously not an expert in any way, shape or form, but I think going on this journey can be really valuable to me, and hopefully you get something out of it along the way. So I've been wanting to get in the habit of reading more this year. There was a point where I used to read over 30 books a year, and I think last year I had trouble reaching 25 books. The thing is, it's different for everyone. Like, some people read 100 books a year and that's like average for them, and for other people 5 books a year is plenty. But I think for me this year, I would really like to read about 25 books. I think that's a good middle ground because it's still a little bit of a challenge for me, but it's not too excessive that it becomes unreachable. I read 2 books in January, and while that's not too bad, I definitely think I can do better. The only problem is a lot of the books on my TBR are very thick books, like this one. I started reading the 3rd book in the Magnolia Parks trilogy, which I got into last year, about a year ago actually, and I've been deeply invested in the series, so I'm very excited to read the final book. However, as you can see, this book is quite thick, and so are many of the other books that I still want to read. One thing I noticed about my reading is that I tend to read a lot more when it's somehow part of my routine or it forms part of a habit somehow. So a lot of the time I would read before work. For those of you who don't know, I work with kids, so when I'm waiting for them in the afternoons to pick them up from school, I will sit in my car and read, and that is when I get most of my Kindle reading done, to be honest. But I figured the best way for me to read a little bit more this year is to set a timer in the evenings when I'm done with work and I don't have anything left to do on my to-do list, and instead of scrolling, which is the thing I usually want to do or just end up doing because I'm not in the mood to read, I'll set a timer and I'll tell myself to just read for those couple of minutes, and I know I will get so much more reading done every single week. So that is what we're doing. I'm not going to be super intense or super strict about it. Like, if something comes up and for some reason I don't have the time to read one evening, that is completely fine. But just in general, I want to make it part of my routine. I want to make a habit out of it so that I can get to more books, because there's so many good books that I want to get to, and I'm never going to get to them unless I take my reading a little bit more seriously. So I'm about 28 pages into this book. I'm about to start chapter 3. It's taking me like a minute to get into it, but I feel like that's just what happens sometimes, especially when you're in a bit of a reading slump, which I think I'm definitely in. So I know that once I get deeper into this book and the plot and things start to get more interesting, that I will be more invested. The thing is, especially with the Magnolia Parks books, like they're not very plot driven, they're more character driven. So I've definitely been invested in these character stories for a while, but I've just been out of this world and the story for some time. So we are going to get back into it. But that is my reading update for now.
I'm coming over around the corner. Another night where I get so confused because we're just friends. The friends who undress, the friends with loose ends that kiss your neck. And I don't mind if you waste my time, cause I've got some I can't lose. Act like I don't need your love and you call my bluff, and that's all that I can ask of you.
It's now just after 9. I have finished up my reading for the evening. I'm currently 142 pages into Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. I have to say that using a timer has definitely been helping me to read more, especially in the evenings when I am tired and lazy and the only thing I want to do is scroll on my phone. And it feels so much better that I'm using some of that time a little bit more productively and I'm actually making progress in the books that I want to read. So I think it's a good habit, just setting like a 20 or 30-minute timer for myself in the evenings, and it helps me to wind down and get through my TBR, because this is also quite a thick book. She's like 700 pages, so it's gonna take me a while. But I almost read, how many pages did I read today? I feel like I read like at least 70 pages, which is a lot for me considering I have not been reading nearly as much in the past few months. So that was my reading update. I just wanted to let you know how I was making progress with this book and how I'm getting on with my new timer reading habit. Anyways, I'm gonna go to bed now and I will catch up with you tomorrow or whenever we do our next little activity. Good morning. I feel like there's so many things that I need to catch you up on. So today's Thursday, it's Thursday morning. I feel like this week has been really busy, and tomorrow and Friday is also going to be really busy because obviously my birthday was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I think so. Has it been that long? Yeah, my birthday was 2 weeks ago. And then my partner's birthday is this coming Wednesday, so like 6 days from now. And I didn't really like do anything with my friends, obviously, as you saw, and he hasn't planned anything with his friends for his birthday, so we kind of thought we'd just have one little get together with all of our friends, which is happening tomorrow night. I think we still need to reserve a table, but we'll sort that out later. And then obviously Saturday is Valentine's Day, and I also have a bridal shower on Saturday afternoon, so lots of stuff happening in the next few days. For some reason I thought that I filmed more footage for this video than I had, because I was planning on editing it tonight, and then I kind of like just scrolled through some of the video clips that I taken, and I feel like it's not as much as I originally thought. So even though I didn't plan on filming today, we are gonna hang out for a bit this morning. So I finished one of my training, or like my training project that I'm doing for my new part-time job, and we're having a meeting, like a video call meeting on Monday morning for that, which means that today I'm free in the morning, and then tomorrow I'm also free in the morning. And I'd originally planned on just like staying in bed and doom scrolling until I had to go to work, but I didn't. Well, I lay in bed for like an hour, and I was like, this is a waste of a perfectly good morning. So I got up, I made the bed, I put away my clean laundry, I did the dishes, or I unpacked the dishwasher and tidied up in the kitchen a little bit, hopped in the shower, I washed my hair. Why does everything in your life just feel better when you wash your hair? Can someone explain like the psychology of that to me, because I don't understand, but I'm grateful. Anyways, I digress. So we are going to go to the store. Well, I'm going to go to the stationery store, which is really not like, it's not that exciting, but I don't know if you've been watching some of my previous videos, you'll know that I have this, like, I don't really want to call it a scrapbook, because it's not really a scrapbook. Like, I just cut out the pictures and I paste them in and I write little captions, but we'll call it my little photo scrapbook. And I usually do them like once a month, and I'll put in all of the pictures from the previous month. So I haven't done January's yet, and I think that I kind of want to get into it a little bit more this year. And I really say that in the sense of like just a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna go full on scrapbooking, because I do not have the passion nor the patience for that. But I do want to maybe get some like colored paper, and I don't know, maybe like some tape or something. I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. But we're gonna go to the stationery store and have a little look about and see what we can find that I can use in my scrapbook. And then the other thing that I also want to get is a notebook, because believe it or not, I, a writer, does not have a notebook at the moment. So I want to buy a notebook because I kind of want to go a little bit more analog with the planning of my novels. I just feel like, number one, it's like a fun thing to do. I feel like I'm more drawn to the idea of planning a book with a notebook at the moment rather than doing it on my laptop. That was a very long update. I'm so sorry. Thank you for listening to me app. We should go. You guys, so it is no longer Thursday. It is now Friday afternoon, and when I came back yesterday, I wanted to show you the things that I bought, and my camera very conveniently decided to die, and I haven't really had a moment to myself since, and I have a very busy weekend ahead of me, like I previously told you. So I have like 5 minutes, and I just quickly wanted to show you what I ended up getting before I end off this video. So it's really not an exciting haul. I had a semi-successful trip. So I ended up getting some color paper for my little scrapbook. I couldn't really find anything else that was like flat and didn't stand out too much, because the book is already like very, very thick. So I I was looking for like tape or something like that. We got some colored papers at least, so that's something. We can make it look nice with that. And I guess we'll just have to be creative with the rest of it. But I feel like I can definitely use this for my January, at least my January spread, if not January and February. And then as far as notebooks go, I ended up getting a very, very simple notebook. I kind of went in with the idea of getting an A4 sized notebook, but there was this other one which was quite a bit smaller, and it had this beautiful cover of like the stars, or like a dark blue cover with stars and then a golden moon and sun on it. And I felt like it was just very, I don't know, on brand for me, I guess, or just something. I'm very drawn to that kind of design. But I kept coming back to this stupidly simple notebook, which I'm not even sure if it's as practical. It's just got basic white lines in it. There's nothing special about it at all. Although I do like the fact that it's baby pink. But I think this is going to work for now. So I'm quite happy with my decision. That's what I ended up buying. Like I said, really not that exciting at all, but we have a notebook that I can now use for planning my upcoming novels, or just any story ideas, or like any ideas that I have at all really for stories or books, whatever. I can just jot down in there, which was the plan with that. And then I think in the next video I want to do the little scrapbook for, if not January and February, at least for January, and we can use our papers and see if we can make it a little bit more special than it currently is, which is literally just me just pasting in the pictures. But we'll see what we can do. But yeah, I think I'll definitely do that in the next video. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not really particularly sure about what I want to put in the next video yet. I think I want to focus a lot more on journaling, and I think trying like some new hobbies or like activities that I've either never tried before or that I haven't done in a long time that I usually enjoyed. And yeah, and I think also continuing the things that I did in this video, like the reading with a timer. Still find that super helpful, and I'm definitely making progress in the book that I'm currently reading. And I also think, you know, getting out in nature more. I don't think there's going to be a lot of time for that this weekend, but maybe try like at least every other weekend to go and do something that is in nature. But I definitely enjoyed the running, the trail run, and just going to the beach. So that was really, really fun. But yeah, we will see how it goes, and I will catch you on the next episode or the next video.